Hello, America and the world. This is Radio Free Market, and I am your host, Michael McKay. We are behind the lines of socialism, my friends, and Radio Free Market is the voice of free people and free markets. Folks, our topic today is nullification, how we as a country can be stronger. Today we are very happy to have as our special guest, Dr. Thomas Woods. Welcome, Tom.
I'm glad to be here, Michael. Thanks for having me.
No, I'm very honored to have you on our show. So, folks, Tom is a senior fellow at the Ludwig von Mises Institute and is a New York Times best-selling author. He is the author of many excellent and prize-winning books. And today we're going to discuss his newest and, in my opinion, a vitally important book, Nullification, How to Resist Federal Tyranny in the 21st Century, which, by the way, folks, this is currently, and it was just released a couple of weeks ago, and it already is the #1 book on Amazon under constitutional law. So, Tom, there's a growing sense of discontent and even anger among Americans who witness the Congress and the president doing whatever they want with what appears to be a complete disregard for the Constitution. You start off your book, Nullification, with a story about how Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, responded when a reporter asked her where in the U.S. Constitution she found the authority to impose a health insurance mandate on all Americans. Please tell us about that incident.
Oh, sure. Yeah, this has become a celebrated incident. Yeah, she's asked, where do you get the constitutional authority to do this? And her response was, are you serious? Are you serious? And then she laughed and moved on to the next question. Now, that's typical.
Then you tell a similar story about Senator Mark Warner.
Oh, now this guy's the all-time doozy for all time. Mark Warner wants to address this question as well, and his response, I mean, it's dumb. Like, there just aren't words in the English language sufficient to describe how dumb his answer is. He says that he in effect concedes, okay, sure, the Constitution doesn't anywhere say the federal government can involve itself in health care. But he says at the same time, the Constitution doesn't anywhere say that you, an American, can buy a telephone. But we've just decided over the years that that's how we're going to live. So he thinks that that's a parallel situation. He thinks that the government not being able to, in effect, order us around with regard to health care is the same thing as us buying telephones. The difference is that the Constitution exists to restrain the government. So the government has to check the Constitution before it acts. The Constitution does not exist to restrain individuals. We don't have to check the Constitution. Hey, can I go to Taco Bell today? Let's see what Article 3 says. It has nothing to do with it at all. The Constitution, we presume to have liberties, whereas the federal government cannot presume to have powers.
That's right. So what these people are missing, and I love it how you've said this, the people are not restrained by the Constitution. It's the government that is restrained by the Constitution. I love that. I love the way you put that. And
well, unfortunately, of course, it's all been completely inverted, which is why we need to engage in our topic for today.
Mm-hmm. Well, this problem is quite serious also within the government, and it's quite pervasive. Tell us about what the Solicitor General said.
Oh yeah, this one's a doozy. Back in the 1990s, one of the Supreme Court justices asked the Solicitor General, which is basically the government's lawyer in Supreme Court cases, asked the Solicitor General, can you name for us any area of American life over which, in your opinion, the federal government would have no authority under the Constitution whatsoever? And the poor guy just stood there dumbfounded. He had no answer at all. And I've been asked in interviews, if I were questioning Elena Kagan, if I had one question, what would I ask her? And I would basically ask her that. I'd make it easy. Or I think I'd make it a little more challenging on her. Why not? She's about to go on the Supreme Court, right? I would ask her, name me 3 areas of American life where the Constitution absolutely definitively rules out government involvement. Just 3. It should be easy. I don't think she could name 2, and she could barely name 1.
Right. Exactly. Well, we're going to talk about this more when we get back, folks. So we're coming into a break. So please stay with us. This is Radio Free Market. I am your host, Michael McKay, and I have Professor Tom Woods with us, and we're talking about nullification, how it's going to make us stronger. So please be with us. We'll be back right after the break.